surrounded. That feeling when you see dust falling from the ceilings, glass shaking on the floor. Laszlo was surrounded 90%, and we didn't have the same reserves or equipment as a normal army. It seemed unfathomable to me that while I was outside my city fighting in the war, life in my city was somehow continuing on as per usual. Summer heat makes you extra thirsty. No matter how much water you drank, your throat would be burning, and even grass feels like a knife cutting you. Water was a commodity. Every house had underground water on pump in the front or backyard, but reaching that house to fill your canister would be like playing Russian roulette. You were in constant danger of being caught by enemy snipers, so you'd use every skill to stay invisible when fetching water. Sometimes I couldn't care less if the sniper hit me. Moments like this are when you battle yourself inside your head, and the only thing that could bring me back to reality was a call or radio from some of my boys who noticed how reckless I become. I wasn't the only one. There was a moment when I was sent to bring water because I was the youngest, with a few the other boys. Suddenly we heard that terrifying click-clack of metal caterpillars on hot asphalt and the occasional shooting with automatic rifles. The sound grew closer and closer. Screw the water, we ran into a nearby house and position which was given to us earlier. The beautiful built house had 2 floors and was filled with the new furniture and dust. Windows with broken glass. I always wondered who the people who were living in this house, what they looked like and what they did for a living. I had so many questions and only my imagination could answer based on few pieces of life that family had left behind. Our position was on the first floor, with a few guys below us on the ground floor. We got order to wait for the enemy to come closer, as we knew that as soon as the armour entered the urban area, all we needed to deal with the infantry. It is easier to say than to do it, but we had no choice except to fight to live or surrender and die. At least I was perceiving a situation like this. That feeling when you see dust falling from the ceilings, glass shaking on the floor. The look in your eyes was horrific, mixed fear and excitement. So many things were flying around in front of our eyes. I wished I was somewhere else enjoying a cold drink. Late summer afternoon in the village, a shadow passed overhead, where minutes were like hours and hours were like years. You pray that time passes quickly and you return to the safety of your own city. The earth was trembling and sporadic shooting became more intense. The troopers behind us started shooting with a few mortar explosions in the middle of the village. I caught a glimpse of some of my boys in the house opposite me, hiding behind the gates and preparing RPG, better known as a rocket launcher M57, as they were preparing to hit the first vehicle. It was primitive, but powerful on close proximity to the armor. In practice, we should hit the last vehicle as well, so all the other armored vehicles would stay trapped without being able to move. We could then pick them off one by one, as long as the infantry had been dealt with. In the next few moments, a rocket exploded on an armored personnel vehicle. That is all what I saw, but it was what I saw next that made me realize we are all going to die. Behind the armored vehicle was a tank, which was parked in front of our house. The barrel was lifting up and up. I was silent, and then the next moment the explosion came. The detonation of that explosion sent us flying across the room. All I heard was my voice gasping for air with dust in our eyes and lungs, our ears and noses bleeding. We were blind. The experience of that hit felt equal to a nuclear explosion we'd seen in documentaries. We were searching for each other by calling our names. Then I felt my weapon under my finger and was crawling toward the window for more air, while someone in my group told me, "Stay down, don't do this. I need air." And so I saw the barrel of the tank aiming at the ground floor. The next explosion lifted us up, then we sank to the ground floor. All I could hear from the outside were enemy soldiers who were arguing about whether to throw hand grenades or not. We started shooting at them without stopping, blinded by the light coming from the outside. Our training in combat and how to refill clips with munition, how to unjam weapons was paying off. Suddenly, the enemy were fleeing. It lasted no more than 30 minutes, but I felt it was eternity. We survived with so many scratches and cuts, swallowing so much dust, but we defended our positions. Simultaneously, I knew if they continued to attack us stronger than this each time, we would eventually suffer defeat. At this moment though, to me, I felt like the biggest hero. And we shared some drinks, water and food while holding positions till next day when our replacement were coming. The dust had settled. The fires had extinguished, and we could set the house again. Somehow we were left to live another day. And all I wanted was to share my story with everyone. You know, like you see in the movies where the heroes survive all odds while the audience hold their breath. Yet, I didn't have anyone to share it with. Somehow I felt the world didn't care. The following day, I was back home with the team and finally went for that cold drink in the city. On TV, a journalist was explaining what happened in the village, and I felt silent, knowing this is just beginning of the hell ahead of me. It was the summer. I wished everything was different.